All right, everybody, how are you doing? Hope you had a good afternoon. Today is September 6th, and the video notes for today are going to be a review for Chapter 1 test. So that is your heading. So in your math journal, go ahead and copy that down. And at any point during the time that we're taking notes, if I'm going too fast for you, all you have to do is hit pause and catch up. And as you can see, there are several blanks. Now, your job is going to be to fill those blanks in as we go along. All right, so I've looked at the test, and here are some tips to help you be successful. Today in class, we did a vocabulary sort, and we glued it into your journal. So you're going to want to review those terms. Okay, another good thing to do is study your old quizzes and your homeworks that you have in the back pocket of your journal. Those are valuable. Study those. Okay, now, here we're getting down to the content. Remember, absolute value is always, and you're going to fill in this blank. Is it always positive or is it always negative? Remember, absolute value means the distance from zero. So think about this. Can distance ever be negative? That's a clue. All right. You're also going to have several questions on integer situations. This is when we did the 6th grade rocks activity and the We Are Awesome activity that we did in class. So, for example, a loss of 3 yards would be, what would that be? What integer would that be? That would be -3. So you're going to write a -3 in that blank. If I give you $25, that integer would be +25. If I have to go down 7 steps to the cafeteria, that integer would be -7. So remember those integer situations. Review those terms on positives and negatives. Okay, then you're going to have to put the integers in order. Think number line. We have a number line in the classroom. If you need to look at it, do that. Remember, the big rule is as you move to the left on a number line, the numbers, would that be increase in value or decrease in value? Okay, so fill that in. All right, the next big thing is changing fractions to decimals. And you can see that I've highlighted. If you would like to highlight, you can too. But your homework for tonight is to copy these notes and fill in these blanks. All right, so going from fraction to a decimal, the first thing you're going to ask yourself is it, what was that word that we use in class? That means it can very easily go to 10, 100, or 1,000. Is it friendly? Okay, you've got to decide if it's friendly. If it's friendly, then go ahead and set up 2 equivalent fractions and take it to 10 or take it to 100 or take it to 1,000. Remember, those are our decimal denominators. So that's how you can easily go to fraction to decimal. All right, if it is not friendly, you try to make it friendly by doing what? You have to simplify it. All right, say it's not friendly. We've tried to simplify it. It's still not friendly? Then you must divide. And remember the little catchphrase. How do you know which number goes under the bracket? Blank dog in the blank. Fill in those blanks. All right. Now, the next big topic is the other way around, going from decimal to fraction. The first step is you say it properly. In other words, you wouldn't say 0.5. You would say this is 5 what? Write that word there. Okay? Yes, it's 5/10. So you're going to write the word tenths there. So step 1, say it. Step 2, fraction it. So I said 5/10. I'm going to write 5/10, 5/10. Step 3, simplify it. 5/10 can be simplified down to 1/2. So 5/10 is the same thing as 1/2. Okay, we've had 2 quizzes. No, I'm sorry. We've had a couple of homeworks and 1 quiz over this, but it is on the chapter test. Okay, the next category and the last category for the test, is the coordinate plane. And remember, when I have a set of ordered pairs, which goes first, X or Y? Fill in the blanks. Okay, and you also need to know your quadrants. So I've drawn a little tiny baby coordinate grid here, and I've labeled the first quadrant. You need to label the other quadrants, and you can call them Q2, Q3, Q4. If you need to go back to your journal, that's what you're doing. So once you finish these notes, I'm trusting that you're going to go back and look through all the wonderful notes that you've got, classifying rational integers and whole numbers, going back and studying bar notation. Remember, you put the bar over only that part that repeats. You're going to come back here. These are the in detail notes on fraction to decimal and decimal to fraction. Okay, we're going to talk about, opposites and integers. Okay, how are opposites different from absolute value? Remember, absolute value is never negative, but opposites can be negative. That's on the test, friends. Okay, remember, absolute value, the little drawing we did with the tree and the house and the mailbox, absolute value is the distance from 0, and it is never negative. Okay, here are those terms. So if you hear the word above, it's going to be positive. A gain is positive. Ascend is positive. Climb is positive. Here are some negative words. Okay, remember, on the number line, as you go to the right, it's getting larger. The value is getting larger. As you go to the left, the value is getting smaller. For negative numbers only, the farther away from 0, the smaller the value. Okay, that is the end of your video. Study tonight. Be ready to take the test Friday. Okay, bye.